Good afternoon, everyone. It's E here with 25K Trading. It's another day here in the markets. It's some crazy shit. So we had the market pretty much open up green. We dropped to even, and then we essentially ripped from there. Broke out this little triangle we had. I thought we were gonna have a breakdown. There was a little wedge that was created after lunch that broke down, but right around here, right around this the 2:30 time. We had the OPEC reports and also the FOMC that really screwed things up. Now that really, I hate when things are looking very bullish when everyone's tearing you bearish. It makes me kind of feel like I'm in with the crowd. I'm too, you know, I'm not being different from the other ones. Maybe that's why it's going up, but I don't really see anything again to really make this bullish. I mean, oil's still trading at 25. It's really not going up. They'll say they'll cut 10 million barrels per day, but no one's going to be using any oil, right? And this is just based on the futures. So it's a pretty crazy day today, and I just want to do a quick test. Can you say something real quick? I just want to make sure the Discord voice is coming through.
Yeah, I'm there, man. I'm just watching it here. It's like really at the highs. So it's interesting to see after trying to short it early in the day and not work. But I'm still here. Like I said, it's kind of too far gone now for me to take a position either way. But I'm gonna see what happens.
So I'm judging by the lack of comments that you can't hear him. So I'm gonna change my settings real quick again because I want. It's just that Mac is very tough time decoding this, but okay,
Yeah,
so
I
you
mean
can hear
going
him.
through it.
Perfect.
There may be a bit of a delay there.
Awesome. So we're back to we're back good. Okay, good. Because yesterday I realized that I was just talking to myself the whole time, and yeah. So I'm glad that I got that fixed.
Yeah, we were making fun of it. It was hilarious.
You guys probably had no idea what I was talking about too. But anyway, so we're here at my resistance. So we're higher. We created a new high in the second half of the day. I totally thought this was gonna break down. We just ended the day again, zero kind of day, nothing, and let this flag play out. But with the news, we decided to break out. So right now, I think towards the close of the day, well, we might see a big green spike because usually what happens at the close is that it follows the trend in the day, and the trend is up. Right, so we opened high and we're now higher, so I can just say maybe there's a huge short cover at the end long and with a huge pop upwards. But it's been very crazy for the last 30 minutes of pretty much every day so far, and I've seen some crazy things happen. So if we decide to make a higher high here, that's some crazy shit, right? If we decide to make come back to zero, that's some crazy shit. It can literally happen both ways, and right now I just don't know. We have Friday off because of Easter. Remember, we have a 3-day week. No trading Friday, no trading Saturday, right? Futures resume on Sunday because of Easter. I just want to say that this could be a crazy week for bears because there's a high chance that this 3-day week is very bullish. Just because it's a 3-day week, a lot of things can happen. For example, oil could be manipulated to $50 for all I care over the weekend, and the energy index can jump 20%, right? It's just crazy stuff that can happen anytime. But we're here at the highs, right? We trace down. I watch Bloomberg every single day, and every single time they tell me, at least the talking heads say, like recession, highly volatile, very risky to go long. And then I've heard other persons say, if you want to go 8 years long and buy right now, it wouldn't be a bad place to go in. And I completely agree with both statements. It's kind of like a politician answering questions. It's not really like a really straightforward answer, but my straightforward thought process is we're going to print a new low before a new high. And I'm going to continue to think that way. I'm very well aware that prices get left in the past. So there's a chance we'll never see 200 QQQ ever again, right? But my thought is I can wait 6 months, and I can wait 6 months to see QQQ lower than 200. But it's just because a lot of it is a lot of my losses actually come from news generated pushes, and the main culprit is Donald Trump. So if you take a look at Donald Trump's tweets today, it's a pretty crazy kind of afternoon here, at least Twitter wise. He's been going off about Joe Biden and how and Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. He's like dragging multiple names into this mess. And he's also talking about oil and opening back the economy. I think opening up the economy is maybe one of the stupidest things you can do at this point. I know he's very good at pumping up prices and for business in general, but I think right now, like the people dying in the hospitals from the virus, it's from 2 to 3 weeks ago. So if we let people out too early in the summer, maybe then this comes back just as hard because we don't have any scientific proof really that says this virus slows down in the summer. But it's almost 12:30 here, and the price is still very close to the high than it is to the lows of the day. But again, anything can happen. The one guest they just had on Bloomberg saying they always watch the last hour. They're probably tuned into this. They're probably one of the 12 viewers in this room, to be honest. No, I'm just kidding. But again, let's just see what the market wants to do here at the end of the day. If you're in a loss, I am shorting. I shorted today. Not fun taking that out. But I was talking earlier to the people in the chat room about accumulation and distribution phases, and I think we should at least I should pay more attention to that because that kind of knowledge that I've had completely kind of it jumped over the thought process. I need to see periods of distribution and accumulation for big moves. Well, obviously last 2 weeks were big accumulations from the low before we jumped at 10%, but we're still barely higher than the previous high. So I think it all depends on a lot of the news here. But you even said, you even see the Fed today saying they're very uncertain. They're very uncertain of what's going to happen in the future. This might have been a month ago, but I can say right now that thought is still very persistent probably in their minds. They have no idea what's going to go on because they're looking at the data, and the data's honestly garbage, right? When you see 9 million and then, you've seen those charts where the unemployment rate spikes so high up, right? It's unbelievable, right? This is like outlier data on a consistent basis. So I can only imagine what they're going through, right? If we can't really predict the stock market, and if all these big economists are saying, the stocks will come down and we'll enter a recession because of earnings, think of what the Fed is thinking right now, right? You have all these monetary indicators going everywhere, and you can throw money on these indicators to soften the blow. But what happens when these start turning against you, right?
I mean, I'm looking at the SPY right now, and it's so close to going to the point where like I'd go like full bull at this point. And that's saying a lot because I've been shorting it all week.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the moment I go short, I know this fucker is gonna collapse, and that's why I am sticking with my thought. Keep on shorting until it doesn't work. It doesn't work right. The price is obviously going up. I can see the price going up. I can know where the price is going up. It's not like I'm consciously shorting when I see the price going up. I'm trying to have strategic intraday shorts that turn into long bull runs, right?
Yep.
I'm sorry, long bear runs. Like today, like if this price drops in the last 30 minutes, you'll know the news came out in the last 1 hour. It's complete bullshit, right? Because theoretically, through a free capitalist market, prices should reflect everything. So there might be a 5 or 10 minute difference or a 1 hour difference. This little ramp up here is purely news based. Yes, you might have bounced from this, the breakdown, but we never broke out, right? Now, if this broke out, I would expect a huge bounce from this trend line retouch right around here, right around 198 on QQQ. But the fact is we didn't, right? We didn't break up, right? This is not a retrace on a hard breakout. This is a retrace on a broken wedge. So that, in my opinion, if we don't come down lower here, I know the market is manipulated, and I hate saying that. I hate saying the market is manipulated because it makes me look fucking crazy. But it is. The news affects this a lot. I hate news.
We've seen it at the end of the day. We've seen it the last 3 minutes. Something happens and like a huge move in another direction. Like literally witnessed it and experienced it.
Yeah, so the margin call at 1:30, or I'm sorry, 3:30 is coming up here. So we just gotta see, but we gotta see what direction this moves. Obviously, if there's people out there that think right now is a great buy and they're trying to push this higher and higher, then those buys are gonna come. That's and people that are gonna sell, they don't know, who's they're selling it. You know, for every buyer, there's gonna be a seller, right? And for every seller, there's gonna be a buyer. So we just gotta see what happens here. Who overwhelms who?
Well, especially earlier in the day when they had the extremely like low volume action, it was like watching paint dry throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, volume started out really low today. I gotta look at the volume of the daily once it prints, but I can probably say today's volume is a little lackluster. And also, I've seen today where the lead changes on whoever leads. Like sometimes the Nasdaq leads, then SPX leads, and then sometimes this other, like it's the indexes are constantly changing who leads, right? A strong bull rally would have all three index rallying at the same time, with all commodities and pretty much everything related into the bull rallying all at the same time. Well, today we had oil red, we had like Nasdaq not wanting to go up, and we still went up too. That's the crazy part. We still went up because of that tweet by the OPEC where they said they're having that virtual meeting tomorrow and that they're going to decide to possibly cut 10 million barrels per day. But that doesn't mean that the meeting is going to be successful, right? You can say you have a meeting, but if you don't cut anything, then it doesn't mean jack shit. And even if you do cut, what's that do? What's that actually do?
Oh boy. Yeah, this thing is like $1 away from being at the friggin' breakout point for going long. Just watching the SPY, there's like 274.35 is what my target is for that big breakout. Even though it's already up 3 points and change.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like today, I saw on the hourly these two reversal candles. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take the next pop and I'm gonna short it because these two candles to me, to my patterns are, what I said. If you've been listening, the double reversal candles are very deadly in my opinion to a bull. And if I ever see those print, I'm definitely going short on the next pop up. And I got the pop up again. News. This is driven by oil. Right. I think even Raj might have even mentioned, or someone mentioned in chat, that we even had a market pause on USO because it rose so fast. Right. That's how fast oil went up.
Yeah, they said the USO ETF was halted momentarily there. At one point, anyway. So many moving facets, it's hard to keep track of everything at one time.
You gotta get multiple screens. That's why I like my iMac, because I got a 27-inch iMac, got multiple screens running.
Oh, I've got multiple screens, but I need multiple eyes.
That's why, I was talking about algos earlier. Like, algos can pretty much run every single market, every correlation, like, just continuously. Like, those supercomputers, right, doing, like, the atomic breakdown of the atoms. Like, same kind of shit, right? I don't even know how they do it, because I'm not a computer programmer. All I know is that the calculations are being run consistently, way faster than my eyes or our fingers can, input trades in. And unfortunately, I can't just go like, oh, oil popped, and like immediately go long.
Yeah. We're just tagging along
We're just tagging
these
along.
huge machines.
Yeah. That's why I think day trading is very hard for those that start out, because it's meant for the day trader to lose the algorithms. That's the whole point. Like, they're taking money from someone, right? Unless it's like really in a bull market where everyone's just winning as it goes up.
Well, and that's what happened to us. We were looking at it like, oh, that's the pattern. Okay, well, we'll go short. Okay, cool. We got a nice little buffer, and then yeah, it blew up real quick. There's like no way to keep track of it once it happens. It's just like, okay, well, that happened. Move on.
Yeah, I mean, DMD, all it is a conditional statement. If oil jumps, then you can put a variance there, a deviation, right? If oil deviates this much within 1 minute to the upside, you can go ahead and put in one buy of SPY, right? As simple as that. Because look, SPY's gonna lag as soon as oil pops. SPY's probably gonna lag.
SPY is getting real close to that breakout point again.
Yeah, so it's 12:30. We're moving up in the day. We're still near the highest of the high. So this makes me want to seem like, honestly, if we run on QQQ, I wouldn't even imagine like 202, 203 being a possibility here to the end of the day. Again, I had the same expectations on the downside too. That being said.
Hi guys, I'm back.
Hey, what's up?
Motherfucking power cut off in Uzbekistan, bro. In my city.
Oh, that ain't good. Oh, breakout. There it goes.
I think it broke up, man.
I think it broke out too, but it's going sideways.
There it goes.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
Ooh, that's 30 out the gate. Good God.
So this is the margin call.
For a lot of pairs, that's a
and this is all supported by your friendly neighbor, oil and gas. You guys can thank oil and gas bulls for this. Oh fuck!
Right on the half hour too. Right on the half hour. How convenient. Oh boy, oh man. Picked a hell of a time to come back, Leo.
Yeah.
I mean, the market right now is essentially is running on pure FOMO. I really can't. When McDonald's has their earnings this morning, I don't know if you guys saw the McDonald's earnings this year, or this quarter. They said like they had like a third of a drop in activity in March. That's significant. Like that's March, April, May, June, July continuing. That's not, again, it's not snap back. We're back up to 100% revenue. 100%, users coming back for revenue. That takes a long time. When you lose users in your system, it takes a long time for those people to come back. I don't care if it's a pandemic switching the switch on and off. It's all about users. When you lose your users, there's no money.
Yeah, and it's gonna take time for people to get like readjust to like coming back and everything else. Like it's not just people are gonna jump right back in. It's gonna be like
what I said about the airliners, right? Same thing. It's like airliners. People are gonna be afraid. Like people were afraid to just fly after 9/11. Come here. All right, talking about dogs.
Yeah.
Bro, I think S&P 500 is going to hit 2,900, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking earlier, right? We were looking at it, and it's like if it keeps holding this pattern.
Yeah.
That the V pattern, the legendary V.
Yeah, this is it. This is it because
I see an upside down inverse head and shoulders at the top. You may be able to see this on the 5-minute too, but that means nothing to me. You see the inverse head and shoulders?
Yeah.
So if we're well into the last 30 minutes and we've had both a pop and a sell, right? 12:30 is the time. The machines are rolling as we speak.
It's just gonna hold that line, see what happens with the last bit of volume.
Yeah, like 25 minutes to go to the close of the market, and I have 26 minutes on my battery. What are the odds?
Would be nail biting over there.
yeah. That's so stupid, man. Like today, I've like decided to unplug my laptop so it wouldn't like overcharge it, so it wouldn't kill my battery. Today, I've decided to be more efficient.
Listen, that was last time too. I almost got into a big trade, and then the friggin' market data crapped out on me, and the broker I was using, and it's just like, okay, yep, no, I'm not going in blind.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming back. I think it's gonna do what it's gonna do.
That's what I'm saying. Anything can happen. Yesterday's close was around 2.6 billion offset on sell.
Yeah.
2.6 billion, again, not a lot of money. We have trillions. The stock market's worth trillions upon trillions per 2.6 million to knock it down like that, like 2%, not a significant amount of money.
Yeah, we were talking in the morning with at the start of a market. Remember, that means how the market are so dry. So the small amount of money, it can drive it so quick, so big. It's liquidity problems. I think that is my personal opinion. I don't know what you think about that.
Have you? Hey Raj, did you look at the put call ratio? I'll check out the put call ratio in a little bit after the market's closed, and I'll report it in the Discord. I usually look at S&P 500 put call.
Wow, that just gave up $1 like that. It's kind of just hovering. SPY's like lingering there.
Yeah, options are option makers, option sellers will want options to sell SPY worthless. And every time this market comes in, hard down, the puts come in, the market goes up high, the calls come in. So that's why I think we end this week somewhere down, because there are a lot of before this 10% run up. Do you know what the put call ratio was? It was 1.5 puts per call. For every one call, there was 1.5 puts. That could be an explanation of why this market ran up. So I definitely want to see what the put call ratio is right now. If it's on the calls, right? If it's usually always imbalanced anyways to I think the puts, right? It's always above 1. So the closer we have to 1, the more bearish it is. I'm sorry, the closer we have it to 1, the more bullish it is. Yes, that's right. And the higher it is from 1, the more bullish it is. Once again, see a little bit of sell volume. It's tickling in. These are the big boys. These are not day traders anymore. Big boys make decisions a few times. When especially you should be able to find it on the indexes, on the CBOE, or there's any of the indexes should have them. I'm sorry. If you Google it, you should be able to find a site. I forgot the name of the one I use, but I use market data. And there's some other places you can look for it too as well. You can also even look at like Y charts is really good for fundamental data too as well. I've been finding Y charts to be a pretty good source, but you got to pay for it, so it's not always up to date. But there are free put calls out there on the indexes, but they'll lag 1 hour. So they'll show the put call and they'll lag 1 hour.
Oh.
And this is what are the Narjan, whatever their name is, the brothers on CNBC. They use the put call ratio a lot. If I don't know if you look at their tweets or anything like that, there are some the option traders look at the put call ratio all the time. So we're selling. That's what it looks like here. Only thing is, there's only 20 minutes left in the market. So let's see if the market wants to sell off, along with this little selling spree it's coming in. We've essentially raced. So right around here is where oil came. I think it was like 2 o'clock or something like that, right? 2:30. I'm not too sure when that. But essentially, if I don't believe the fucking Saudis are going to cut 10 million barrels. They've already worked so hard and they're already selling it for so low. I don't think the output, decrease for them is really nothing. Right? It doesn't matter if oil's at $30. It has to be at $40 to actually do something. $30 is still not acceptable. $20 is not acceptable. Right? Permian Basin, you probably heard the raw cost costs $30. Right? In Canada, it costs up to like $80. Right, I'm just maybe my degree of knowledge is a little rusty, but I think around 20 to 30 is where America breaks even. So we can't have $30 oil. We're still losing. Right now, you're on the Saudis. On the other hand, they're pumping for single dollar digits. Right, it's like four or $5 per barrel of oil they're pumping at. Right, so they can afford to sell 14. Right, that sell volume coming in. Dude, this is why I hate this bullshit. This is complete bullshit. And if you think this is bullshit, I think it's bullshit too. Don't worry, you're not the only one in the same boat as I am. Right, complete bullshit. That's all I gotta say. Like, we should have never popped. This should have came in and sliced us down negative. But because of OPEC, because we got the elevated bulls coming in the second half of the day, right? We're not gonna get there. We're probably gonna people are gonna assume this is now very bullish and probably aim for a new high tomorrow. And I don't think the new high is gonna be here tomorrow. I personally don't. When I say new high, I mean the high here 2 days ago. I'm sorry, the high here yesterday. Like, losing track of my days. So that was probably we have another 20 minutes or so. That's the first wave of selling. We'll see when it kicks in a little bit more. And also, price moves really fast when there's no participants. Right? Moves really fast. So look, we're just barely above the opening, right? The open was at 198 here for QQQ. So we're not really that much higher than the opening if we do decide to keep dropping here. Now, if we rip up from here, then I don't even know what the fuck's going on. If they decide to take this candle up, this is a massive candle here. Comparing for the whole day so far on the 15, this is a huge candle. It kind of mimics the earlier drop from yesterday or from this morning. But we have wicks all over the place. Very big battle. This is the hourly. On the hourly, it looks a little bit, more bullish. But, in my opinion, when things break out, they need to ramp up hard. They can't just do this. They can't just do this sideway action. This sideway action delays the flag and it just has more chance of it breaking down. So what I want to see here as a bull is the immediate rip, drop, and then rip, like what we see down here. Right? You can't even see the consolidation on Monday's pop. You can't even see it on the hourly. Right? This is a big consolidation here. And this should have ripped probably harder, given that it has a 10% flagpole. But we'll see. We'll see if it wants to rip here or it just ends up being a bull trap. Right now, I think bull trap, but don't trade just because I think it's a bull trap. Right? Sitting on your hands is an option as well.
Apparently, there is a indicator. There is a chart in TradingView put call ratio PCC.
PCC, they got it.
Yeah, they got it. CBOE from CBOE. They got it.
It's called PCC?
Yeah, PCC, yeah.
Maybe because I don't have the data feed. Oh, I'm on stocks. Oh, right here, PCC. Yeah, you got it.
Got it?
Yeah. So right now the call ratio is pretty much even. Oh, this is nice. If this is live data, let me see.
It is.
It is. This is actually really good data. Extremely surprised. Look at this shit.
Good call, Uzbeki guy.
Look at this call ratio right here.
Yeah.
That's insane. And look at on the 7.
What am I looking at?
Put call ratio. How many puts per call? So right now there are 1.046 puts per call. So pretty much even. Right now the put call ratio is even. That means so to me, when I look at the put call ratio right there, 1.04, that means there's no direction. Right? Now if it's 1.5, again, that's a big bet on the bear. 1.5 is a big bet, right? 0.5 is a big bet on the bull. So you can use that as you can be a contrarian. If there's too many people betting options on the bull side, right? You can theoretically say it's gonna go down to wipe them off that, to just essentially take them off the premium. They're out of the money.
Dude, I have some stocks. I'm thinking to quit or to hold. They're pretty much flat right. I'm just scared to leave it overnight because, I think it might open 5% against me.
Yeah, tomorrow is the market close. Options expire because we're not going to Friday, I'm assuming. And we could jump. It could be a huge short cover, right? The only thing is we're at highs. So I don't think anyone would cover short at the high. I think if we were, again, back at this lower level, it'd be a lot more short covering, like we saw on Friday of last week, where that huge spike came in. It was just essentially people covering short that maybe didn't have the balls to hold, and those people actually made the right choice, right? But here at the high, I think it's gonna be a little different. It depends on where we are price level. And just remember, there are funds out, and you're shorting and it doesn't seem like it's working. Make sure your risk management's really good. Because remember, there are people out there shorting Tesla for years and not be able to get the short until it went up to 900 and then fucking went all the way down to 380 or something like that, 400. So, you gotta keep trying until you get there. But the thing is, how much of a waste of time was that? Probably a huge waste of time. Right?
Yeah.
You kept on shorting, and you just broke even in the end with your hedging.
Gone.
Wow, that was interesting. Just going on, freaking Cuban. Anyway,
is USO still halted?
I'll take a look. No, it's liquid.
That's crazy, dude.
It's only half of what CL is, though.
Nuts. Look at this.
Crude is 10.7. USO is 5.5. Feels bad, man. It's not even leveraged.
That's what happens with some of these funds. They just suck at tracking too. Yeah, I mean, if I was part of the KSA, right, I would tell my friends and family, hey, I'm about to make this announcement for OPEC. Go long on crude. Easiest inside trader ever. Easiest inside trade ever. By far.
Yeah, I mean, I find it highly suspicious they make a giant move like that before the meeting. Like, you don't even know what the meeting, results are yet.
So we have another 10 minutes here, guys.
Oh, there goes Leo's battery.
So again, the put call ratio seems to be very steady at 1 here. So I'm not really concerned about the heavy imbalance of the puts and calls. But you'll notice how when I went back to that chart, you'll see a huge imbalance to the upside and a huge imbalance to the downside, right? So only look for outliers. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened?
Whoa, look at it. Just hit my breakout alarm again. Oh, this is even big.
Oh my god. This is some crazy shit. I'm holding my breath. I should be breathing.
Gonna touch 275 on SPY there. Oh my god. There's some big chunks there.
Battle of the big funds. There's like billions of dollars flowing through this every second. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, every so often you see massive sizes roll through.
By the way, you guys realize funds are not supposed to be doing this. Like this kind of jump usually happens when it's high volatility. It's like this kind of like the plunge team, right? They nicknamed this the plunge team because it usually just buys around this time. It's not always up and down. It's usually just a buy during the bull market.
My god, my data can't keep up with it.
And we have another 10 minutes. Like it's crazy for the index to go up and down like within a range of 1%. Like I find that nuts.
Yeah, I mean they're supposed to be stable. This is not stable the way that just shot up back and then down again.
And I know there are traders out there. What they teach in day trading school is where you get like 200 times margin and you're trading with like $50. You're gonna get knocked out instantly with a move like that. This is a kind of move where it just knocks out traders, too.
Yeah, I mean that would have stopped out anyone at that point. It would just clunk it out. I mean, what was that, like 45 cents or something?
Another 7 minutes, guys. So far, we on that last pop, we got a new high of the day for QQQ. But now it looks like it's shrinking away from that, just ever so slightly.
Careful. Feel like it wants to take another crack at going up again.
The only thing is that if we broke out of this, a 10%. Okay, if I was trading a penny stock, if you were guys who were trading a penny stock, you guys have a 10% run up, and we have a consolidation day the next day. What do you think happens the next day? It goes up, hard, like fast and hard, right? Right, that's basics 101 of breakout. You buy the breakout. You don't buy the break. You buy the breakout retrace, but you don't buy it on the breakout itself. Theoretically.
Yeah. Oh, it's 275 again. That's going out. Not seeing huge there, but it's pretty. Oh, there you go. There's a couple there.
You highs?
Want to hold it? Oh, there it goes.
Five minutes left. See, this is some crazy. This is a lot of fucking firepower between two sides. Unfortunately, retail is caught in the middle and we can't be doing this. We can't do this. I don't care if we all decided we made a petition to press sell or buy at 355 each day. There's no way we're going to overwhelm whomever it is buying and selling. Have even more volume on this last bar.
Yep, the last 3 minutes again.
This is what the Fed is trying to get rid of. This illiquidness. Well, we all know this happens at 345, but when the market was crashing, it was happening every day, every second. Right? With the 10% pops, 10% drops, every day. Up 10%, down 10%. Lack of liquidity. It's because if one side wants to sell, there might not be the side to give them buys. Like, what the fuck is this? Crazy thing is we have 3 minutes left.
I feel like I'm watching some speculative stock like Tesla or something early days. The way this is moving is crazy.
Like, yeah, like I feel like I'm watching after hours earnings report. And you know, in the after hours, there's obviously no liquidity at all. You know, that's why the price jumps like that in the after hours.
Yeah, it's looking like it wants to hold that line, but there's just, it's so sporadic. Guidance? What guidance? Algo guidance. 11.
There's got to be another spike of volume here somewhere.
11% in crude. What in the world? Before
and I guarantee
meeting.
you, watch when the news comes out, they do cut, oil just tumbles or something because of like a caveat they put in there.
They play both sides of that coin.
They'll put like, we'll cut 10 million barrels per day only if all nations cooperate. Which I'm pretty sure not all OPEC. Wait, Qatar has even dropped out OPEC, so. I think Qatar did, right?
2 minutes to Swifty. Yeah, like I said, 274.35 in SPY is like the closeout price for going holding long, but we'll see. I don't have any position.
I wonder if we're going to close closer to the high or closer to the opening minute. Actually, no, that's dumb now. We're definitely closer to the high.
And seen anything where it actually held the whole way through, all the way to the end. That's
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Maybe I'll get my wish. Was it closer to the high or is it closer to the opening minute? We still got another 30 seconds here, guys.
Oh, there's some massive volume there now.
I mean, this is the last time for them to slam it. Okay, so whoever bought big pretty much just got slammed by the sells in the last minute. Unless it wants to pop up here in the last bit. So I'll knock on wood here. Like, literally, this is what it's supposed to look like. How it pops up in the last, you know, kind of just like goes even.
Swifty.
Right, so that was somewhat of a pretty even close, right? We didn't really venture off to our price. But you know, we closed here at 200 QQQ. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? About tomorrow? I have no fucking idea, right? So we made a lower high today, and we made a higher low today. Lower high, higher low. So this price looks like it's consolidating.
Yep, and holding that 274 in SPY, so that's pretty much on.
So tomorrow's meeting is OPEC. It will include U.S. states, Norway, and a whole bunch of people. So Lynx, that's probably why we popped up really hard, because the expectations of that's a very bullish event. Oil has always traded with equities, and sometimes when equities wants to ignore oil, they will ignore oil. But when they want it as a reason to go up, they will totally use it as a reason to go up or down. So I'm gonna do a little more research on OPEC later today, and I'll see what they're going through, because I haven't really studied oil or energy in the last few months or so. But I'm gonna go ahead and look and see what the hoopla is about, because everyone's just talking shit on oil. Trump included himself. I don't know. The Saudis have their own agenda, and then again we have our own agenda. Oil prices are low, are good for consumers, and it's also good for the United States when it comes to hurting Venezuela, hurting Russia, and these other, hurting Iran, these other, oil producing countries that solely rely on oil producing, right? As the USA, we do not rely on just energy. We have whole diversity of sectors, which is why we're number one, right? But for other countries, a lot of their income depends on one thing, and that's the price of oil. So we can kind of see the debate whether or not if oil's being kept low to hurt other nations, because we don't really need oil, to be honest, because we're producing enough of it. So I'm very curious to see what the result of this next OPEC meeting is. Remember the last time they said, oh, we're to convene for an OPEC meeting? They didn't. Nothing happened, right? So this time they're like, oh, we're to convene for a virtual meeting. Okay, great, cool, awesome. But what does it mean, right? What does it mean, right? So unless, or I think Saudis, they just need to decrease. They need to increase the price of the wholesale. It's not about production, it's about how much they're actually selling at, right? Just like physical gold, right? You can have gold trading at 1700, but what is the actual price of gold when it comes to purchasing one, right? It's probably like 1800. So similar kind of situation here. Futures trade at one price, selling of oil trades at another price, the actual selling of physical. But we end up today here on a pretty good up day for those bulls, right? Pretty solid update. That being said, I don't know what the direction is tomorrow. I'm thinking, again, always, I'm shorting intraday, and if I have a good short, I'm writing it into another day. Unfortunately, price went up here today, and that's it. Anyone have any questions before the stream ends? Questions, concerns? Are we watching crypto? Run the bear stops? All this day nonsense? Oh no, the guidance.
There was a little bit of buying there after hours, but it's going back down again.
Is there any important ERs that happened today, other than McDonald's?
I'll check.
After hours earnings reports.
I had that email open. Oh wait, hold on.
Because I want to see what D&D said. The guidance. Guidance is pretty critical for me, I think, in terms of looking at the earnings going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I know myself personally. I've been paying attention to earnings because everything else is going on. It's hard to keep.
Well, I'll do a little more research on myself here, but hopefully the Bears can take control of tomorrow. But again, tomorrow is the last trading day of the week, Thursday. Remember that. Thursday, tomorrow, last day. I shall catch you guys next time. I'll keep posting my charts and graphs online on StockTwits, and they'll be going to my Twitter too as well. Nothing good on ER. That's what I thought. I don't remember anything being good today when I checked the calendar last night. Everyone, risk management, know how to use it. Hopefully we get the big one coming up in sooner than later. Now, if you like this video, shoot me a like. If you like, subscribe, and we'll be back here tomorrow around the same time. So that's good. I got my audio fixed. Hopefully we get more people on the stream. I see the traders coming more online to the voice chat, and that's really good. And I want to continue this community get larger and larger. So I'd like to thank everyone here for participating today, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.